We're taught that space is up there beyond the sky, but Genesis gives us a very different picture. God separated the waters above from the waters below with a structure called the firmament. Most people imagine that this is only the sky. But what if the bottom of the ocean is another firmament? A boundary hiding a whole other sea beneath our feet. In Genesis 1, the Hebrew word for the deep, tehom, describes a vast, chaotic ocean of waters under the earth. The Bible repeats this language: the waters under the earth, the fountains of the deep, the abyss. Ancient cosmology pictured reality as layered: heaven above, earth in the middle, and deep the below. And interestingly, this isn't just mythology. Geologists have discovered massive amounts of water locked far beneath the ocean floor. Deep in the Earth's mantle, 400 miles down, there's enough trapped water and minerals to equal more than all of the surface oceans combined. It's not a free-flowing ocean, but a massive, hidden store of water. Literally, waters under the earth. This means the deep is deeper than we ever even imagined. The Bible's imagery isn't as far off as skeptics think. Earth truly is built over a hidden reservoir of water, a real deep below our feet. And if you extend Genesis firmament downward, then you really do see how it all fits, because the top firmament equals the sky, outer space, separating us from the waters above. The bottom firmament equals the ocean floor, the mantle, separating us from the waters below. In this sense, the ocean floor could be another boundary, like the sky. You can't punch through it with submarines any more than you can punch through the firmament in the sky with rockets. It's a structural limit of our reality that we were never meant to cross. So if there are multiple layers or planes, waters above, upper dimension, waters below, the abyss dimension, the firmament is the barrier between the two. This makes the ocean and whatever it is below it a perfect symbolic or practical place for hidden things.
The SR-71 Blackbird, I think, is the fastest jet ever. It travels at a top speed of like 2,200 miles per hour, and it can go 85,000 feet above sea level. It's for reconnaissance, for tracking enemies and stuff like that. Pretty cool, huh? Well, that thing, you saw the aerodynamics of it, right? It looks like it cuts through air. But what about these big floppy things that they're shooting off into space? These space shuttles. Well, apparently for a space shuttle to be able to counteract the gravity of our globe, it has to travel at a speed of at least 17,500 miles per hour. You mean to tell me that those things are going at 17,500 miles per hour? Are you serious? And apparently the space shuttle, which was sent to the moon, had to travel at a speed of 24,000 miles per hour. I can't even comprehend those speeds. 2,200 miles per hour, let alone, is absolutely insane. And you mean to tell me that that big old nasty looking thing can actually go that fast? Whatever, dude. Give me a break.
Guys, Earth is flat. There is no such thing as space, and I'm going to prove this to you. So, supposedly, the information that we're fed is that there's 10,000 active satellites in space. Now, you can't just bring satellites back. They just stay in orbit. So that means that there's 14,900 satellites just orbiting Earth. If you were to be in space, looking at Earth, this is what that would look like. And they want us to believe that Earth is spinning at 1,500 kilometers per hour, which means that all of these satellites would be moving around with the Earth at a slower pace. And what? The rockets that we launch off of Earth just go straight up. And then when they get to a certain height, what? The pilots of the rocket just start dodging the satellites like Han Solo and Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon. No, dude, it doesn't happen. It's never happened. The reason why you think that is you've gone to school, you've been conditioned, don't think for yourself, let the information be fed to you, and your entire life, you've never had to actually just go, is that true? Should I question that? You've just been programmed, dude. Space doesn't exist. How do they get up there? They would hit all of these satellites, bro. It's impossible. The rocket just goes straight up. It goes straight up. There's no way that someone's piloting the rocket and just like dodging all the satellites, bro. It doesn't happen.
See that there is no landing crater or dust kickup. Even with the lack of gravity, you would think that the weight of the lunar module would still leave some kickup or even an impact crater of some kind.
The Eagle has landed.
NASA explained that this is because of the obvious lack of gravity, but also that the moon is a solid rock surface. More evidence to the contrary is this reflection seen in the visor of one of the astronauts. An unexplained object can clearly be seen in the upper portion of the astronaut's helmet. Whatever this is, it looks to be hanging from something above. And if you look at photos of the lunar module, it doesn't appear to be anything hanging off of that. Many people believe that it looks very similar to one of these lights you would see on a movie set. As of now, as far as I know, there's been no explanation given. And then there's the obvious lack of stars in any of the photos taken on the moon's surface. You would think without the light pollution that we have here on Earth that you'd be seeing billions of stars. You can see Earth, but not one star is visible. There's been many explanations about this, but... And then there's the C rock. This photo was taken on the surface of the moon when you can obviously see the letter C on one of the moon rocks. Movie studios often use labels like this on their props. NASA's explanation of this is that this was most likely added afterwards or even as a prank by one of their own. And even with all this evidence, one of the most compelling are these photos showcasing the use of similar backgrounds.
Did you know some people believe the moon landing never happened? It was 1969, the height of the Cold War. America said, "We put a man on the moon." Millions watched it live, but almost instantly people started asking questions. No stars in the sky, shadows going in different directions. The flag, it looked like it was waving. Some believe it was filmed on a Hollywood set directed by Stanley Kubrick, all part of a US plan to beat the Soviets without ever leaving Earth. NASA says that's nonsense. They left equipment up there. Lasers still bounce off it today. So what was it? A giant leap for mankind? Or the greatest illusion of the 20th century? To this day, the debate still hasn't died.
Every year on the 11th day of the 11th month at precisely 11:11 a.m., something extraordinary happens in Washington, D.C. The sun's rays, perfect and unwavering, pass through the elliptical openings of the Armed Service Memorial's great pillars. They converge with absolute precision to illuminate one single point, the mosaic of the Great Seal of the United States. For just a few brief moments, light and geometry, earth and sky come together in flawless harmony. It's not a coincidence, and it's not chance. It's precision that is beyond human error. And yet, most people never stop to wonder how. How can the sun, year after year, align with such flawless timing, down to the exact second? How can a world that is supposedly spinning, tilting, and hurling through space produce such unwavering accuracy? They call it a memorial to time and to service, to sacrifice. But maybe it's something more. Maybe it's a silent testament to a truth they have hidden in plain sight. That the earth is steady, fixed, built with divine precision. At 11:11 on November 11th, the sun doesn't just mark remembrance, it keeps perfect time. And still the majority never notice. They walk past it, unaware that they just witnessed the universe proving itself to be a clock. One that never skips a beat, never drifts, and never fails. So let me ask you, if the world were truly spinning, tilting, and drifting through endless space, how could the sky keep such perfect time? Maybe what we're seeing isn't a coincidence of orbits, but the precision of a perfect sky clock turning right above a flat, stationary Earth.
Let's
Earth team launches a weather balloon straight up to touch the firmament to prove that the firmament is there and we can't get past it. And about 46 minutes later, it stops rising. And you're going to see as the camera planes, the horizon stays to your eye level no matter how high you go, and it is flat, which only happens on a flat surface. They proved that it's touching the firmament. It can't go any further. And it's crazy that people deny this. And it's funny because the same people who deny the existence of the firmament and the flat earth believe NASA over the Holy Bible, the first verses of the Holy Bible, by the way. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the depth, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness, blah, 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 blah. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. There's waters above the firmament. That's why the sky is blue. Now, isn't that funny? Because that's exactly how all of our ancestors depicted the earth, besides us. Our satanic controlled system that they sell you lies, because Satan is the god of deception. Waters above the firmament, as mentioned in the Bible, the heavens above the firmament. That's why the skies are blue once again, guys. The immovable, fixed earth that we live on, as mentioned in the Bible as well. We place the earth firmly on its foundations. It cannot be moved forever and ever. Psalms 104:5. Kind of like it feels like we're not moving. Like it feels like we're not moving, right? That's how I feel. I don't feel like we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. How about you? Oh, you're going to ignore what you feel and see with your own senses and believe what you're told because you're a sheep. That's some globe-tard logic. With love, of course. Wake up. Peace and love.
You see, that's space. There's no such thing as Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all those planets that they invented. There's no such thing as that. Everything is in there, in the water. When you go higher and higher, that's water. That's water. The ocean is God's mirror. What do you see? When you look at the ocean, what reflection do you see? The sky, which is water. Remember, we live in a firmament, a dome. Water's above us, we're right in the middle, and water's beneath us.
I know the flat earth. It's on the UN flag, right? And here we have a newspaper. Philadelphia Inquirer, 1964. And this is a series, special reports, and it's called Historical Events That Shape Our World. Funny they say shape our world. Anyway, this map here, as you can see, is the exact map on the UN flag. You notice what's missing. You got it. Antarctica. I wonder why. I'll show you some more. All these newspaper articles showing versions of the globe, if you will. But the one thing they're missing is Antarctica. No Antarctica anywhere. Another one. They have a funny version of the North Pole, which, to me, I still think it might be a magnetic mountain, hence why compasses work. But here, all they have is a nipple. Looks like a nipple. Again, these maps are all missing Antarctica. Now somebody could say, oh, it's at the bottom of the globe. But why would they make all these illustrations and not show the entire planet? Even this one, this is more of a modern interpretation. Again, Antarctica should be down here at the bottom, but it's not. Again, we have the North Pole, which looks like a nipple. Again, one after the other, North Pole nipple, missing Antarctica. Australia. They got everything else. Antarctica is missing in action for some reason. Well, I'll show you why in a second. I think you already know where I'm going with this. Not to mention their stupid version of how people got to the moon. Which we know that never happened either. But anyway, foolishness. Absolutely foolishness. Again, another map. Again, missing Antarctica. Funny thing is, this first one is actually an exact copy of the Gleason's map. To a T. So these guys at the UN know what the Earth looks like. The reason there's no Antarctica is because it's not in the world. It's surrounding the world. And they know it. And that's why it's not in these illustrations. Another thing is, any flat earther knows who's making up these lies. We all know it. Let's show it. Yes, I'm using their money. Anyway, this is Morals and Dogma. And in their book, you know they use the square and compass. The square is a right angle formed by two right lines. It is adapted only to a plane surface and belongs only to geometry, earth measurement, that trigonometry which deals only with planes and with the earth which the ancients supposed to be a plane. Again, these guys know it, and they're lying to the world. Again, got their dirty Illuminati money here as a bookmark. Again, in their own book, the square is an instrument adapted for plane surfaces only, and therefore appropriate to geometry or measurement of the earth, which appears to be, and was by the ancients supposed to be, a plane. So therefore, it is natural and appropriate symbol of this earth and the things that belong to it. But, of course, the compass is equally important and natural and appropriate symbol of the heavens and all celestial things and celestial natures. So basically, when people say, oh, the earth has to be a ball because everything in space is a ball, well, not necessarily. The square is for flat earth, the compass is for the heavenly bodies. They know what's flat and they know what's round. And they've been lying.
The flat earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.